How are you doing, guys? It's ZedEye here. So after watching the new Red stream regarding of Cyberpunk 2077, a patch update 2.1 that genuinely was very unexpected and yet a very welcoming change and additions. Now, for example, the biggest features I definitely want to touch on individual ones, share my thoughts as well, because this is genuinely incredible, and I think that CD Projekt Red didn't even need to bring all of this into the Cyberpunk 2077, but yet also since Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition will be released on the 5th of December, basically it comprises of the original game with all the patches and updates and fixes, and including the Phantom Liberty expansion. So first of all, and the biggest thing regarding of the upcoming feature that genuinely is awesome, Metro system. So we're actually going to be getting an awesome implementation in Cyberpunk 2077 that was at first teased, the very first teaser that happened in 2018, that V was in the metro station, in the metro train, I should be more specific. And it was awesome to see how would this actually work within the game. But now, finally, we are actually getting this option. So there's going to be about 5 metro lines, and basically there's going to be 19 metro stops that you can take, and also they can act as a fast traveling point. So you have an option to actually experience the beauty within the night city, or if you want, just simply fast travel. Now, another additional cool thing that actually some of the NPCs or people will be approaching you asking for money, or whatever the kind of conversations that you can have within this metro station. It genuinely makes it interesting as well, how far can we take this? Oh, by the way, as well, should mention that as long as you are inside the metro, anytime, if you want, you can skip all of this and get to your destination as by press of a button. So you don't actually have to wait a whole way through. So another big thing that a little bit of a feature that was actually a little bit of a shocker that didn't actually, was featured in the original of Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm specifically talking about you actually can finally play the radio station while you're on foot, so you don't need any sort of vehicle to listen in, and instead while you're exploring, checking out new places, new spots, you can choose of your own choices of the musics that you can play in the background at the radio stations, as it should be more specific. Now, just do want to let you know that if you're during going through the mission, or maybe there's some kind of conversation moments, the music will pause automatically, but afterwards, when it's done, the music will resume. So nothing is going to be like immersion breaking. Another big change, this definitely is a nice welcome, that finally there's gonna be a big revamp on the boss battles. So as an example, the biggest one is the Atom Smasher. If you guys remember, unfortunately, he was a cake. He was a cake over, like very easy to just simply even one-shot, two-shot the Atom Smasher and you'd be done with him. In this case, and this time, we actually get to see him in action while it has been showcased at the Red stream. And yeah, he looks quite menacing, very fast. It kind of has that kind of effect going on that was actually seen in the Netrunners anime show. So it's awesome to see kind of similarities that you would expect. So yes, this time he's going to be a lot more tougher and perhaps even more challenging. Now, of course, granted, I should mention that perhaps maybe you could still be way too overpowered for him and you can just maybe one-shot him continuously anyway. But yeah, it still is a welcoming change that boss designs, and basically they're getting revamped. Another welcome change, and this actually a little bit is confusing the way it wasn't introduced before, it is the availability that you can finally have repeatable car chases. So if you want to go on that racetrack and you feel like you want to try it again and again, get the first place, perhaps you want to break your record or something like that, obviously now you have that option to do so. Another welcoming good thing regarding it as well, if you guys remember, Cyberpunk 2077 had a very big problem with the races, especially when you're just super far off in your first place. Opponents were simply just kind of teleporting to you, and yeah, it was a mess basically. So now this should be a far better experience. So we can definitely expect an additions towards, brand new vehicles, and including 5 brand new bikes that you can finally use. Another big change, and definitely an addition that needed I'm talking about specifically regarding the bike combat and stunt tricks that you can do as well. So during the bike, while you're riding them, you can finally also use your throwing knives while you're on the bike, so you don't have to get off the bike or anything like that. And yet again, if you want, you can actually finally do stunt jumps and stunt tricks and stuff like that. So you can do like a backflip or something like that. And if you want to, you can go in those tunnels, you can go in those pipes, and you can do like a rolly, or, you know, just going upside down and just going crazy with the tricks. I couldn't actually believe it that you were not able to do so back on the original game. A very welcome addition, and a lot more, well, challenging moments that you would expect to see in Cyberpunk 2077, that is ganged car chases that are being added in here. So with this update, basically, if you're going to a different street, different place, and you're killing all the gangs, there were never really any repercussions other than cops, but you know how cops were back then as well. They were a pushover, they were non-existent basically. Now with this change as well, so gangs are going to be finally coming after you and, you know, just trying to take you out, because obviously if you keep on killing them, well, obviously you're going to have some consequences that you'll have to deal with. So this is definitely a nice kind of a change and a little bit of additional challenge. Another welcome addition that update 2.1 shall get, it's the accessibility features, such as like getting a bigger font size, aim assist, or perhaps like colorblind modes, options to turn off hacking timers as well. You know, it's always good to have these additions that perhaps, well, a lot of people would be expecting. Another thing that's been, well, mentioned a tiny bit at least, it's regarding the new Hangouts that you will be able to do so. For example, maybe you have a girlfriend in the game, so obviously maybe you want to hang out with her. Now this wasn't really elaborated fully, and perhaps maybe we'll have to wait and see for ourselves on how that really works. Perhaps maybe you'll have more conversations, but yet it still is a nice way of seeing how you can actually be a part of the kind of a soul and the life within the Night City and your girlfriend or girlfriends, let's say. So it's still awesome to see this kind of a addition that perhaps maybe you want to be part of this world a little bit more than you already are. That's really was pretty much it regarding of the additions and some of the changes of the update 2.1 for Cyberpunk 2077. This was very unexpected. I'm so glad the way that CD Projekt Red still has implemented these changes and additions for the game completely for free. They never even had to do it like this. Like, I expected them after 2.0 update just simply be done with the game and just move on. But instead now with all these add-ons, it definitely is, well, it's very, very welcome. That's all I wanted to have a little bit of discussion regarding this situation. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. See you guys all and have a wonderful day.